Welcome to Grunt Skill, the podcast where we shine the spotlight on the backbone of the world, the hard labor grunts who build it, haul it, lift it, pave it, and never back down. Every week, we're talking boots on the ground, hands in the dirt, sweat on the brow stories from the men and women who move this nation forward one busted knuckle at a time. We're keeping it raw. We're keeping it real. And we're bringing the voices of the working class to the mic, one episode at a time. Let's start with your story. How'd you get into dump truck driving? Was it something you planned or something you fell into?
Oh man, that's a good one right out the gate. I tell you what, it sure as hell wasn't some childhood dream, like wanting to be a doctor or a movie star or nothing like that. Nah, I got into this game the same way a lot of grunts do. I needed work, and I wasn't scared to sweat for a paycheck. I was 19, fresh out of high school. No college plans, no silver spoon, just me, my busted-up work boots, and a need to eat. My uncle was a foreman for a small paving crew down in Kentucky. One day he pulls up in this gnarly old Peterbilt dump with rust on the tailgate and tells me, "Boy, if you can learn to double clutch and not tip this sucker over, I'll put you behind the wheel." I didn't know jack about trucks at the time. Hell, I barely knew how to drive stick. But I wanted it. So I got in, stalled it a dozen times, got laughed at by half the yard, but I stuck with it. By the end of the week, I was hauling gravel loads like I'd been doing it all my life. Something about that engine purring, the weight behind me, the smell of diesel and dust, it clicked. That was it. I was hooked. And let me tell you, this job ain't for the faint of heart. Ain't no office chair, ain't no lunch break with a salad and a latte. It's 4 a.m. call times, frost on your windshield, mud up to your knees, and trucks that rattle your bones. But I fell in love with it, man. With the rhythm of it. The challenge. The feeling you get when you back a full load of blacktop up to a paver crew and nail the drop just right. They give you the thumbs up and you feel like a damn rock star in steel toes. Was it something I planned? Not really. But was it meant to be? Damn right it was. I've driven in the pouring rain in triple-digit heat, through road closures, detours, back roads slicker than owl snot, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing. My cab is my office, my tailgate is my signature. And every road I help lay down, every site I drop stone on, I know I'm part of something bigger, something real. So yeah, I didn't fall into dump truck driving. I grabbed that steering wheel, shifted into gear, and never looked back.
Can you paint us a picture of your average day on the job, from that first cup of coffee to your last load of the day?
All right, let me hit you with the real deal. No fluff, just diesel-soaked truth. My average day? It starts early, brother. I'm talking before the roosters even think about stretching their necks. 3:45 a.m. Alarm screams like a banshee. I'm up, boots hitting the floor before my eyes are fully open. No snooze button in this life. I shuffle to the kitchen, slap on the coffee pot, black as night and strong enough to wake the dead. While that's brewing, I'm stretching out the ole. These bones been through war, and dumping rock for 20+ years takes a toll. 4:15 a.m. I'm out the door, lunch packed, usually a sandwich, a couple granola bars, and beef jerky, safety vest in one hand, thermos in the other. I climb into my personal pickup, throw on some old school country or Skynerd, and cruise to the yard. You know what I see on that dark drive? Peace. No traffic, no noise, just me and the road. It's the calm before the grind. 4:45 a.m., pulling up to the yard. There she is, my rig, my girl. Old Mac Granite, with more miles than a country preacher, but she still purrs like a lion with a sore throat. I do a walk around, check the tires, airlines, fluids, lights. No shortcuts here. If you don't respect your truck will make sure you regret it. 5 a.m., first dispatch comes through. Hauling base stone to a highway expansion job about 30 miles out. I'm off. The sun's still tucked under the covers, but I'm already barreling down the road, heater blasting and coffee flowing. By the time most folks are hitting the snooze for the second time, I've already dumped my first load and am heading back for more. All morning long, it's load up, haul, dump, repeat. Back to the quarry, then to the site. Sometimes asphalt, sometimes gravel, sometimes filled dirt that stinks worse than week-old roadkill. Doesn't matter, I get it there. And the crew? Man, we're like family out there. You got flaggers, operators, foremen, all moving in sync. We rib each other, curse the weather, and slap backs when a job goes smooth. It's a beautiful mess. Lunch? What's that? Half the time I'm eating while idling in line at the plant. One hand on the wheel, the other shoving a sandwich in my face while listening to old episodes of Diesel Talk Radio. That's the grunt life. Afternoon hits hard. That's when the sun's beating down like it's mad at the earth. Cab feels like a damn sauna. Sweat soaks your shirt, dust cakes your face, and your left arm gets that weird one-sided tan from hanging out the window. Still, you push through. One more load, then one more after that. Around 4 or 5 p.m., last haul of the day. If the job's going long, it might be closer to 6 or even 7. I drop that final load, tip my hard hat to the paver crew, and head back to the yard. Sometimes I get a wave, sometimes a nod, and that's all I need. That's how we say good job out here. Evening, I fuel up, park the rig, do one last walk around, and log my hours. Then it's back to the pickup truck, riding home with the windows down, dust in the air, and the kind of tired that makes you feel like you earned your place in the world. By the time I get home, I'm beat. I mean beat to the bones, but it's a good kind of tired. The kind where you sit down, kick your boots off, take a deep breath and say, yeah, I did something today. Then it's rinse, repeat, and get ready to do it all over again tomorrow. That's the life. That's the rhythm. That's the grunt grind, baby.
What's the earliest you've ever had to clock in? And how do you get your mind and body prepped for those long, hard hours?
Oh man, you're taking me back with that one. You ever start work before yesterday even ends? 'Cause I've had shifts where I was rolling into the quarry at 2:30 in the damn morning. I ain't talking about early. I'm talking about still pitch black, moon's your only headlight early. Let me tell you about one of those days. We had an emergency run for a busted water main that had swallowed up a 2-lane stretch out by the county line. They needed stone hauled in fast to shore it up before sunrise traffic started rolling. I got the call from dispatch around midnight. I barely had time to splash water on my face and choke down a mug of scalding hot coffee before I was throwing on my boots and heading to the yard. I remember sitting in that cab, fog on the windshield, thermos between my knees, and I just whispered, "Let's get it, old girl." You ain't fully alive till you're shifting. Gears through fog and headlights, running solo while the rest of the world's still dreaming. It's surreal, but man, it's electric. Now how do I get prepped for days like that? Let me break it down real simple. Stretch first thing. My knees ain't 25 anymore, you feel me? I do this old man dance in the kitchen. Swing my arms, crack my back, touch my toes, or at least try to. Hydrate like hell. Before I even sip coffee, I slam some water. This job will dehydrate you quick, especially in summer. Fuel up. Sometimes it's just eggs and toast, sometimes it's whatever's left over from last night. I've eaten spaghetti out of a travel mug more than once. Whatever works. Mental armor on. This ain't a cozy desk job where you can hide from the day. You gotta be on guard. One blink too long and you're jackknifing a full load. I remind myself first thing, today's a challenge, but I'm built for it. Music, man. I crank something that fires me up. Sometimes it's country, sometimes it's metal, sometimes it's just the sound of the engine rumbling. That's music enough. Respect the road. I tell myself every single day, stay sharp, stay humble, and watch out for the other guy. One mistake out here can cost lives. You gotta bring your A game, every load, every turn. There's a toughness that comes with these long-haul shifts. It ain't just muscles, it's mental. You gotta love the silence of the early morning. Gotta love being the first tire tracks on fresh gravel. Gotta love the way your breath fogs up inside the cab while the heat kicks in. That's how I prep. That's how I endure. Because when it's just you, your truck, and a job to do, ain't nobody gonna do it but you. So yeah, I've clocked in at 2:30 a.m., I've dumped loads while the stars were still out, and I'd do it again tomorrow, 'cause that's what real grunts do.
We are on a roll with Big Mike, the gravel haulin', gear jammin', sun up to sundown dump truck driver who's droppin' more real talk than a hot load on fresh blacktop. You've heard how he got started. You heard how early he hits the road. You even heard how he gets his body and mind battle ready. Now it's time to crank it up a notch and ask, what's your favorite part of the job and what's the part that makes you shake your head every time?
Oh man, that's a juicy one. You want the sweet and the sour? You got it. Let me start with the good stuff first. 'Cause yeah, there's a lot of heart in this job, but there's also a hell of a lot of heart. Favorite part? That's easy. It's the moment, And if you're a grunt, you know exactly what I mean. It's that split second when the job site is buzzing like a beehive, machines moving, radios squawking, everybody hitting their marks, and then boom. I roll up, drop my air brakes, and the whole crew's waiting on me to tip that bed and deliver the goods. You back up to that paver, smooth as butter, tailgate swings open and that blacktop slides out like hot lava. Operator gives you that nod, that silent hell yeah, and in that moment you ain't just a truck driver, you're a critical piece of the puzzle. You're the reason the road gets built. Man, that feeling? That's better than a payday. It's pride, it's purpose, it's knowing that what you do matters. And I love being out there early, just me and the road. The sun breaking through the clouds while I'm humming along in a fully loaded rig. Brother, that's church to me. Diesel's my incense, that engine's my choir, and the road is my altar. Hallelujah. Now the head shaker? Yeah, we got that too. Let me tell you what grinds my gears every damn time. It's the cars, man. The four-wheelers, the little sedans and SUVs that think a 30-ton dump truck can stop on a dime like a bicycle. You ever had some soccer mom on her phone cut you off at a merge point while you're hauling 20 tons of gravel down a grade? Your stomach drops, you slam that brake, and the whole world shakes. I got air brakes, not magic brakes. And let's not even start on the ones that tailgate. You ain't just asking for trouble, you're begging for it. That tailgate flips up and kicks out a rock the size of a fist. You're losing a windshield, or worse. I've put signs on the back of my rig. I've flashed hazards. I've tapped the brakes. Some folks just don't get it. Then there's the last-minute job changes. You think you're done for the day, already picturing yourself at home with your boots off, and suddenly the foreman radios in, "Hey Mike, we need one more load down to Lot C." Lot C? That's across town. You can't say no, 'cause grunts don't back down, but inside you're just sitting there like, well, there goes dinner. And don't get me started on the paperwork. These new tablet logs, I miss the old days when I could scribble it on a clipboard and get on with my life. Now I'm out there fighting with a touch screen in the rain while my gloves are soaked and the system keeps bugging out. High tech ain't always better. Bottom line? Look, every job's got its ups and downs. But in this one, the highs are sky high, and the lows, well, you just grip the wheel tighter, grit your teeth, and push through. Because at the end of the day, when I dump that last load, when the pavers are smoothing it out, and the sun's setting on a brand new piece of road that we built with our bare freaking hands, I don't think about the tailgaters. I don't think about the overtime. I just think, damn, we did that. And that's why I keep coming back.
Whoa. We are in the CAB with the legendary Big Mike, the dump truck driver who hauls with heart, speaks with grit, and lives the kind of work ethic most folks only read about in motivational posters. You've heard about his early morning hauls, his love for the job, and his frustrations with four-wheelers who treat a dump truck like it's a Mini Cooper. Now we're cranking it up and getting into the thick of it, the job site madness. This next one digs deep into the dirt, the chaos, and the high-stakes ballet of road construction. What's it really like working with hot asphalt, tight deadlines, and heavy equipment all around you?
All right, you want the truth? Buckle up. It's intense, it's dangerous, it's beautiful, and it's addictive as hell. Imagine this. You're pulling onto a job site that looks like a war zone, mud tracks deep as your boots, machines screaming, flaggers dancing, foremen barking orders like a drill sergeant, and right in the middle of it all is you. Me. A dump truck loaded down with 20 tons of lava-hot asphalt, and everybody's counting on you to put it right where it needs to go. No more, no less. Hot asphalt, brother, that stuff don't play. When that bed tips and that blacktop starts pouring out, you can feel the heat through the steel. It's like standing too close to a bonfire. Your skin starts to tingle, the air gets thick, and the smell? Oh, that mix of oil, tar, and fresh pavement. I swear it smells like hard work and paychecks. But you gotta be quick. Asphalt don't wait. It's a race against the clock to get it down and rolled before it cools and turns useless. That means no second chances, no slow pokes. You back up to that paver right the first time, or you're gonna have a whole crew cussing your name from the foreman to the flaggers. Tight deadlines? Oh, buddy. You ever see a grown man eat lunch while operating an excavator at full speed? 'Cause I have. When they say tight deadlines, they mean move fast or get left in the dust. Road work don't wait for nobody. not weather, not traffic, not broken down rigs. If we're doing a night pour, the road's got to be ready for morning traffic. That means no delays, no drama, no excuses. You get your load, you get in line, and you dump on cue. The paver crew's counting on you. The inspector's breathing down everyone's neck, and the highway department's calling your foreman every 15 minutes. The pressure, it's real. But you either learn to thrive under it, or you find a new job. And let's not forget the risk. People don't talk about this enough, but every job is a gamble. You got scorching temperatures, flammable materials, unpredictable weather, distracted drivers flying past the cones, and equipment that can flip, roll, or fail. I've seen a dump bed get stuck mid-lift because of a faulty hydraulic. I've seen tires explode from overpressure. I've seen guys go down from heat stroke because they thought they were tougher than the sun. You respect the job, or the job will bite you. That's the grunt code.
Man, what a wild ride this has been. We've been down dirt roads, job sites, before sunrise haul-ins, and rolled through the heat, pressure, and pride of a real dump truck grunt's life. Before we throw this diesel-powered episode into park, we've got one last question to wrap it all up with a bow made of high-vis tape and steel-toed boots. Let's drop question 6, and let Big Mike close us out the only way he knows how: real, raw, and full of heart. What's something people totally misunderstand about your job or the road construction industry in general?
Hoo boy, you're gonna get me fired up now. You know what folks don't get? They see us out there slowing up traffic, wearing vests, leaning on shovels for 2 seconds, and they think, look at these guys. Slacking off, getting paid for nothing. Man, let me tell you, they couldn't be more wrong. They don't see the 4 a.m. wake-ups, the 14-hour shifts, or the burning heat coming off that fresh asphalt. They don't feel the vibration of a 30-ton truck grinding through gravel with your window down and sweat stinging your eyes. They don't know what it's like to work through blizzards, lightning storms, and full-blown hurricanes, 'cause that highway's got to be cleared, or that pothole's got to be patched before someone dies driving through it. They don't see the danger either. We're not just fighting fatigue or heat stroke. We're dodging traffic that whips past the cones at 70+ miles an hour while we're just trying to do our jobs and make it home in one piece. One wrong move and it ain't just a bad day, it's your last one. They think it's just dumping dirt. Nah, it's precision, it's timing, it's teamwork on a level most people never experience. I ain't just driving, I'm coordinating with flaggers, operators, paver crews, and plant workers. I'm doing math in my head for axle weight, distance to the edge, dump angle, you name it. Every load's a puzzle, and every delivery counts. And you want to talk pride? Let me tell you, every stretch of road you've ever driven, some grunt bled to build that. Some crew stood in the cold or the heat, worked by headlamp or floodlight, gave up holidays, missed birthdays, all to make sure your trip was smooth. We don't do this for fame. We ain't on magazine covers, but without us, the country stops moving. So what do people misunderstand? They think we're just workers, but we're builders, backbone makers, modern-day road warriors. We're the reason your tires have traction. We're the reason the grocery truck gets through. We're the reason your kid's school bus don't fall into a crater-sized pothole. You don't gotta thank us. You don't gotta honk. But maybe next time you see that orange sign and that line of trucks moving slow, say a little thank you under your breath. 'Cause we're out here grinding for you.
Big Mike, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of truth that hits harder than a full load of riprap to the face. A man who doesn't just drive a dump truck, he drives America forward, one damn load at a time. And that is how we close out this episode of My Grunt Skill, the podcast a tribute to the men and women out there keeping it real, keeping it rollin', and never backing down. From the darkness before dawn to the last light of the day, this ain't just a job. It's a legacy. Until next time, keep your boots on the ground, your hands on the wheel, and your grunt skill strong. Flexed biceps fire. Signing OFF, this is your host, saying, stay gritty, stay humble, and stay proud. Catch y'all on the next episode of Grunt Skill.